Halo Infinite is a very difficult game to play on mouse and keyboard because at its core, it has a much higher time to kill than almost any other competitive FPS out there. So it requires you to really hold your aim on the target for an extended amount of time, and missing any shots can be pretty unforgiving in Halo. When it comes to mouse aiming, tracking is easily the hardest mechanic to master when aiming with a mouse because there's no aim assist like there is on a controller. In this video, I'm going to show you guys the best tasks that you should be practicing on Aim Labs to help improve your tracking and improve your aim in Halo Infinite overall. Keep in mind that aiming is a skill that takes a long time to master, and you likely won't see progress every day. Be patient and really focus on the tasks that you're playing, and pay attention to mistakes that you might be making that could help you improve along the way. So jumping into the first tracking task that you can use as a good warm-up is Sphere Track. In Sphere Track, you track a pretty fast-moving sphere all over the screen horizontally and vertically. With how fast the target moves in this task, it's completely normal to run out of mouse space and have to reset your aim. So if you have to do that often, don't fret about it. It's totally normal for this task. Other than that, this one's pretty self-explanatory and there's not really a lot to discuss about it. Just keep your cursor on the target as much as possible and try to aim for a 70% accuracy. For this task, the accuracy rating is how long you were on the target versus how long you were not on the target. And a side tip for you guys, if you find that the sphere moves a little too fast, the cool thing about Aim Labs is that it allows you to customize pretty much all of the tasks in the game. So you can actually go in and make a custom Sphere Track task, and you can adjust the size and the speed of the sphere to your liking. So if you're playing this task and you feel like the sphere is either too small or it's moving too fast, you can jump into the customization tab of this task and you can slow down the target and or make the target bigger so it's a little bit easier for you. This allows you to practice at a little bit easier of a difficulty so it's not too overwhelming, and then as you get better, you can go in and make the task a little more difficult and rinse and repeat. Next up on the list is Strafe Track. This one's somewhat similar to Sphere Track, but it's a little less all over the place. This task deals with only horizontal tracking, in which you track a sphere side to side while it makes spontaneous cuts back and forth. After each sphere is killed, a new one will spawn at a random size. The small ones are definitely much harder to track and will really put your skills to the test. This task is probably the second best task on this list when it comes to Halo, so this is one you're definitely going to want to focus on a lot. If you want to give yourself more of a challenge, or if you find the task a little difficult and you want to make it a little easier, you can go into the custom task settings and you can set a faster speed for each target, and you can adjust the size of each target as well. So let's move on to the third task called Strafe Shot. Strafe Shot is without a doubt the #1 task that you're going to want to focus on, as it will be the best for improving your aim in Halo Infinite. It's almost a perfect scenario of what killing enemies is like in Halo. You have a target that's going to move back and forth that varies in size, and you must shoot it 3 times to destroy it. This is going to help you practice keeping your aim on a target while it's strafing left to right, which is exactly what you're going to be doing in Halo. Try to make it your goal to kill the target in all 3 shots without missing. If it means that you have to shoot a little slower, then that's totally fine because accuracy is much better than speed in this case. But what is super cool about this task is how you can customize it. If you want as true of a Halo experience as possible for this task, then you can actually go in and change the amount of bullets that it takes to kill a target from 3 all the way up to 10 bullets. And you can even change how often it strafes back and forth, which is really cool. By upping the amount of shots it takes to kill, and as well as changing the frequency at which the target strafes, you're really going to be getting some good practice for aiming in Halo. As I said, you really want to focus on accuracy rather than speed on this task, so make sure whenever you do shoot at a target, you try to hit every single bullet without missing one. So definitely make sure that this task is the main focus of your training, and like I said, I really recommend messing around with the customization options for this task. Last but not least is a task called Switch Track. Switch Track, unfortunately, is the only task that is not customizable in Aim Labs right now, but it still makes for some really good practice. In this task, you're gonna have a lot of targets on the screen at once, unlike the other modes where you just have 1 target at a time, and these targets are at a fixed size, which is rather small. But with them being small, they have a very fast time to kill, so if you just hover over them for probably less than a second, these targets are gonna be killed. This task will not only help you with tracking, but more importantly, it'll help you with switching from target to target very quickly. With Halo being a team FPS, there's many times that you might get an enemy really weak and they'll dip behind cover, and then their teammate will instantly pop up, and that's going to force you to have to be able to switch your aim from the old target to the new target really quickly. this task is going to help you a lot with that. Like I said, the only downside is that it's not customizable. So that pretty much wraps it up for all the tasks that I have for you guys. There's a lot more tracking tasks inside Aim Labs that you're free to check out if you want. But from my experience, I find that these 4 tasks are probably going to be the most helpful for Halo. To kind of wrap things up, I want to encourage you guys all to remember that tracking is the hardest mechanic when it comes to mouse aiming, and it really takes a lot of time to get better at. So try to be patient and really focus on improving when you play these tasks, and don't just mindlessly play them, as just playing them to play them won't really help you improve. Tracking can also induce a lot of fatigue, as it's really tough to do. You really have to focus on it. So try to take a short break every few tasks that you do, so you can always be at 100% when you do practice. Lastly, I want to add that I did mention a few times in this video, every task except for switch track is customizable. So if you ever feel like a task is too hard or even too easy at that matter, don't be afraid to jump in and customize the task to fit your current skill level more. As you get better and your scores start to improve, you can then up the difficulty of the task by adjusting the speeds and sizes of the target, and then just continue to rinse and repeat as you get better. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, a like on the video is always appreciated, as it will help the video spread to others that are looking to improve their aim on Halo. I'd also like to mention that I do stream a lot on this channel, so if you're into that, definitely subscribe so you can get notified whenever I do go live. Take it easy, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.